Okay. Okay, so from the top.
We make it drop.
Stop it. Stop it.
Check it.
Okay, so I'm going to present to you on how does a good LinkedIn profile look like. And I know that some of you guys, before you join this company and do this job, you may never use LinkedIn before. So I hope this could be something helpful to build your profile. Yeah. And before we start, I need your attention real quick because I have this one very short question for you. So I need you to actually look at this profile. So this is Chloe Anderson. She's Laura's sister.
Fake the camera.
Yeah, she's from Laura. She's the Laura's sister.
Alright.
And this is some guy from Clary, some German guy. So you can see the profile. You can look at the profile, right? Okay. So the question I have for you is that what impression do you have of this profile, of the two profiles?
Okay, one is a man, another one's a woman.
Okay, good one, I guess. Anyone else?
You answer
I
it.
didn't see the other profile, but I do figure that they don't have any. The first one don't
Oh,
have
the
any
other profile here.
Yeah, the first one doesn't have any background.
Vander.
Photo
Also then
background photo.
So what kind of impression do you have for this profile? Like when you look at this profile, what do you think about this Chloe?
Low.
New
Mm.
new profile.
Low.
He's not the real person.
I'm not
That's the point. Very on point. Very good.
But no, I would never think that.
You would never think that?
No, how would you think that some like how do you know that the profile is fake?
Actually, because it's
No, how
They're just
do you know that
consuming.
there are even fake profiles? Because before
actually
I
that's
worked
not
here.
that's not what she meant.
yeah, that's not the point.
She's just asking your impression
Yeah.
about it.
yeah,
It's
that's not the point.
Too realistic.
Okay, so this is one
So
example.
one is professionally done, the other one looks amateur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the point is that when you look at the profiles, however it is set up, you will have a certain impression of the profile. So when some prospect have a look at your profile, it was they think as well. They will have the very first impression of you. Because when you work as an SDR, sometimes the LinkedIn is the very first impression that someone have when you try to interact with them. So it is very important that you leave a good impression of you on them. Okay.
Not just the first. Sometimes it's the only impression they have.
Yeah, for me, for my case, it's the only. Yeah. So this is what I will present in this presentation. We have what I got LinkedIn profile labels, profile section, and a very important one, how to make your LinkedIn profile look credible, which means believable, and how to get attention on LinkedIn. This is something that I think could help you guys on sending connection requests. Okay. And so why good LinkedIn profile? Like we mentioned earlier, to leave a good impression, to be able to get traction on LinkedIn. Traction means that someone actually interact with you, or they are attracted to your profile. And also to get more connection, because when you send somebody a connection request, they basically, the first thing they do will be looking at your profile to see what you do, to see what you want from them. So it is very important to show them that you are someone that they can connect with. Okay. Okay, so I want to hear your opinions on how do you think a good LinkedIn profile would look like?
It has to have over 500 connections, and pretty much the front page are saying the education and the company you're representing and the years that you've been at that company. Yeah.
Okay, anyone else?
You can have a lot of endorsements.
Okay. Anyone else? The new faces, what do you think?
Me.
All the new faces.
Old face.
They will be fulfilled with a lot of detailed information so that everyone can
Sorry?
get the
Can you speak a little bit louder?
It will be fulfilled with more detailed information so that everyone can search about that person, so that everyone can understand more about them.
Okay, that's a very good answer, and that's also my point for the next part. So thank you so much for that. Thank you also, and thank you Harry for your answer. So Well, so on LinkedIn, they have something that is called LinkedIn profile label. Right, something like this. So when you try to set up your LinkedIn profile, you would see something like, oh, say, okay, you need to complete one more to achieve intermediate or to achieve all-star, right? So when you just first join LinkedIn and you basically have very basic information on your profile, which is 4 sections, and I will talk about the sections in a little bit more. You will be the beginner. So all of you who just joined LinkedIn are beginner. And then if you have 4 more sections on top of that, you're gonna be the intermediate, right? And then if you have fully enough information on your LinkedIn, then you reach this level, which is all-star, okay? Following so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So what's the benefits of
Yeah.
each?
Right, so why, right? Okay, so this is why. So basically by complete your LinkedIn and to these levels, the purpose of these levels, they actually show how complete your profile is. And because LinkedIn is more like a professional network, so the more you have on your profile, the more professional, I mean, when they look at it, the more professional they will feel about your profile. Another thing is that it will help with the visibility and searchability of your profile and also your post on the profile. Because if you have enough information, they may use a filter on LinkedIn and they can actually see your profile. Okay. And how do you actually achieve the levels? By completing the sections. So what are these sections? It's very basic, guys. So I break it down into, it's LinkedIn who broke it down into 3 kind of sections. The core one, the recommended, and the additional. So you can see it right here. Can you see it? Yeah. Okay. So the core section would be your education, like Sina mentioned earlier, your work experience, your position, and the skills that you have. And some recommended is featured, which means that your posts on LinkedIn and then you can actually pin them on top of your profile. That is the featured. Licenses and certification could be your languages proficiency certification or any kind of licenses that you have. Courses could be course on LinkedIn or on anything that you have a recommendation. Recommendations means that somebody recommends you on your LinkedIn profile. Leave a recommendation on your LinkedIn profile. And some additional sections, some good to have, would be volunteer experience, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so it's good to have, but it's not really compulsory. Okay. And so I want to move on to the next part on how to actually make your profile look credible. Okay, so on a LinkedIn profile, basically you have, first of all, you have your avatar and cover and profile picture, sorry, and then you have the headliner, and then you have the about section, and work experience, skill and endorsement, right? Okay, so I want you guys to look at this guy's LinkedIn, and tell me what do you think when you look at his LinkedIn, the very first thing. Okay, you see it?
It's legitimate. Look legit.
Yeah.
Legit.
No. No, it's not.
Handsome guy.
Handsome guy, yeah. Okay.
I saw the banner in the background meet the same as his company logo on the page.
Yeah.
This is the first thing I noticed.
Yeah, yeah. So when you look into a person LinkedIn, the first thing ever you notice on the profile would be their cover and their profile picture, right? Okay, so I highlighted it. And for this guy, when you look at the cover, you would know right away what is his company and what is it doing. And the profile picture also looks very professional, and yeah, he looks good in there. Okay, and another thing that you should, so this is what the headliner is, this very short line here. So here's the SPA of marketing. So I think that's enough for the headliner, but it depends on the accounts that you're working on. You can either put in something relevant, like for Micro Minor case, it's a cybersecurity evangelist or something, right?
Even
Yeah, something like that.
or something like
Yeah, and you can see that he have his location. He also
It's ridiculous.
have a lot of connections.
The evangelist.
Yeah, it's really personal.
But he feel like, okay, no, let's not discuss
Okay.
about that.
Okay, that's a good one.
Right, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the reason why I show this part first is because when someone look at your LinkedIn profile, this is the very first thing that they see, and sometimes they don't really scroll down. They just look at this very first part and decide and like okay if they want to connect to you or not or something like that. Yeah. Okay, and also okay.
So the LinkedIn photo is very important.
Yeah, and
to
also
have
the
attractive looking ones.
Yeah. and the
That's why I
headline.
lose on LinkedIn.
That makes sense. Okay.
Perfectly said.
Yeah.
You could look good on LinkedIn, but please don't treat it as your Tinder. Please. Be professional, okay.
Professionally sexy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, and so to be able to show someone that you are a real person, that you're credible, one important thing is that your activities on LinkedIn, because whatever you do, you comments, you share posts or you like posts, it's gonna show on these activities. So if you have time and if you can create your own contents, that would be great. If not, you can actually share the posts that are useful for you, or you can like and comment on progress posts. Yeah, that's one way to get activities. Oh, you look very confusing.
Yeah, because I'm not get used to your pronunciation much.
I'm sorry. Oh, you don't get to the.
No, she said that she having a hard time
Pronunciation.
understanding your pronunciation.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay.
And I can't see. I can see.
Yeah, you can see it, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so.
I understand you fully. It sounds very cute. Go.
Okay. So for this part, so for this guy, he has a lot of activities on LinkedIn, so you can see right away that he's active on LinkedIn and he's actually a real person. Okay, another thing is your about section. So what do you usually put on this one about?
About
About yourself,
Tell us.
about your experience,
Mm-hmm.
about maybe the daily job that you do in Telestar,
Yeah.
or on the metric or whatever you would like to decide on.
Yeah. And also the work experience here also important. So you have to choose the right company's LinkedIn with the right logo. So it would look professional, and when they actually click on this title, they can go to the company's LinkedIn. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's important.
Yeah, that's very important. And then the title. My recommendation would be don't make it sound too salesy. You can either put it as consultant or specialist or manager or something like that. For me, I usually use growth manager when I work for Telestar. Okay, and you can put in a short description about your work or about a company, because sometimes if they look at your profile and they know what you're doing and that's something that they need, they could be the one that actually reach out to you. Yeah.
So would it be like a good idea to put on there that you're sales development representative?
For me, it's not. Yeah, but it depends. It's more by personal preference. Yeah. And you can put in some relevant skill here. It's optional. So for Microminder is a cybersecurity company, so I put in information security. Okay. And then the skill, the one that Hiri was talking about, skill and endorsement. So when you put in those skills, the more important thing is that you have this endorsement from people. You say right here, okay, this skill was endorsed by 4 people who are highly skilled at this. So it shows that, okay, so this could be a real person with real skills, right? And are endorsed by the colleagues also, okay.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. And then the recommendations. This is more like have you guys ever used this section on LinkedIn, recommendation?
Recommendations.
You could actually recommend each other.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can do it.
So they send some recommendation to each other.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah, we recommend each other. Yeah.
Like some
We should
endorsement,
do that.
endorse each other and recommend each other.
Yeah,
I
it
would
was.
say everybody, oh yeah, everybody's so good.
Oh my God.
But I hope it's like not. You have to be creative as well. It's not like this guy is good.
That's not enough.
This guy is good.
That's not enough. Yeah. Okay.
So I
Have to be
had a
creative.
meeting with this person, great person.
Has to sound good. Has to sound
Yeah.
sincere and everything.
Sounds convincing and everything.
Because it's gonna go the different way. Like it's gonna go what do you call it? Counter.
Effective?
Yeah, counterintuitive or counterproductive. And counter if ever you're putting in an endorsement and it doesn't sound good. So it was the other way.
Oh yeah, you can go to sleep.
It's even better when you get endorsed by the leads that you're working with and they're impressed by you. Which that happened to me with one of the people I booked for Sempress. Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Okay. Okay, so let's move
Just
on.
saying, I'm not saying I'm the best, whatever, because Lily is, and but yeah.
Okay. Okay, so those are the sections that I think you should pay close attention to if you want your profile to look convincing when someone else is looking at your profile. And the next thing I want to talk about is how to get attention on LinkedIn. Okay, so you know that a lot of people are trying to sell on LinkedIn, right? So to be able to get their response, you will have to stand out from these people. And this is one of the tips. You can interact with the prospects post, you can like, comment, share, but again, don't be too creepy. Yeah, just okay. And then you can send very personalized notes along with your connection request. Like, okay, so what do I mean by personalized? This means that you look at their profile and then you pick out something that show them that you actually look at their profile, not just running something automatically. Yeah, so for me, what I usually do is I say, hi, I saw it's this company on LinkedIn and I found your product. I would say a very short description of the product, very impressive, and let's connect. And that actually works very well for me, so you guys can try it as well.
So this is actually a very important point, especially for people who's not doing phone calls yet, but who's actually doing emails and LinkedIn. Basically, it's not how many that you have sent, it's actually the quality of it. Whether you send in 5 or 10 only, compared to 100, which is based from a template that is copy pasted, that 5 and 10 would probably work out for you better. So take the time, because basically I've never actually rushed you into sending messages just so that you could actually finish the leads. No. It's better to actually put quality on it by personalizing. Just like putting a note, let's say you check how fast, let's say, I see that you've climbed up the ladder, corporate ladder so fast, and I'm really impressed by it. I would like to connect with you, and maybe we could collaborate or do some that. So come up with creative ideas on input, trying to input what you actually saw in that profile. It's useless if you're just gonna copy paste what is actually there. It's just a guide. Copy paste and then you send it to someone, I'm sure no one's gonna read it. But if you personalize, 1 out of 10 would be 5 out of 10 someone's gonna read it. So, well, go on.
Useless. Yes.
Okay,
Why did
and
you just say useless?
why?
Because I like the way you say that word. It actually is describing that. And I hear the word useless and garbage a lot. So, but anyway, okay.
Can you tell me about
Go ahead, you guys.
And then you can
Get this.
actually share posts from the accounts company, the accounts that you're working for, or from the prospect's LinkedIn profile. If they have some post that is talking about something professional and you think it could be useful, okay? Or if you can, I would recommend you to create your own contents. Yeah.
On what?
Content.
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 Content, yeah, sorry.
Be
Okay.
human.
And then the tips for LinkedIn is that be human. Try to, because you are a real person, like
Yes.
sitting behind a computer, right? So you show them that you are the real person. Yeah, that's it. So if you have any question or anything on that, okay, feel free to ask.
I have a bit of problem with the personalization because I think it will waste a bit of time in
Mhm.
like 100 leads.
Now that's what I'm trying to get at a while ago. What do you mean by wasting time? And what do you mean by quality of your time being used?
I mean, it might take even like 5 minutes to finish a connection, so that's 500 minutes. If you divide it out, it's like it's most of the day already.
Yeah, but think about it. Like this, when you just make it.
I mean,
simple.
then you think about it. You don't do personalization. You just send in the template. You finish the 100 leads or 200 leads, no response. Your objective is basically to actually get the attention and response. And if you're just doing it just to breeze through the leads, it's pointless. So my point here is that whether you take 5 to 10 minutes just to personalize, that time that you spent there is more effective than just sending templates. Our objective is result based, not basically just numbers. Numbers works when we don't have results because we're just showing we're putting in effort. But if results is there, like we're getting meetings, we're producing results or people responding to our messages, that's way better than numbers.
Because I'm thinking of my account specifically.
Mhm.
I rush through the connection request. Mostly I put the template that looks some kind of somewhat somewhat personalized.